Is up. We are live. What is going on, guys? It is your boy Eric of EMFC.
And this is Derek of DEEFDED. I'm here.
He's here. We do not have Matt around.
He's here.
Oh my, that's loud.
Yeah, that was my bad.
That's fun.
Sorry.
It's Wrestle Chat Wednesday. On a Wednesday, of course, we chat all things wrestling. We got some news to, of course, say and reviews and opinions. So let's get into the first topic of the day. It's the weekly recap. Alrighty, so we're gonna try something new this week. We're gonna try to summarize everything a little bit more quicker instead of a full-on review. So I'm gonna try to do kind of like almost like jot notes. We quickly go through things, and then the most important stuff, that is what we will talk about and extend the conversation in a way, because I feel like sometimes we get lost in the littlest of things, and a lot of you guys already watched SmackDown, so SmackDown healing from where? God knows where. All I know is that they kept announcing that Monday Night Raw was going to be at the Mecca, MSG, of course, the home to WWE in New York. Um, and I feel like in a way this was a kind of finally like a development of WrestleMania, but I felt Raw is where everything kicked off because especially on Monday Night Raw, that's when like 20 matches got announced. So let's start off with Friday Night SmackDown, as you guys can see on the screen, a little summary of it. Um, and my little jot notes. So we're gonna do match results first for the littlest of things. So the Bella Twins took on Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. They won. There was some shenanigans from the tag team champions right now, which is the Irresistible Forces, and then Bailey and Lyra Valkyrie also went out and they also interfered. The low key sad news about that, or maybe not sad, was that Nikki Bella got injured along the way, but we'll get to Raw because apparently she's not that injured. Rhea Ripley defeats BFAB because Rhea Ripley started talking ish and was upset that she got jumped by 3 women, especially that those other two, so that would be Michin and BFAB, teamed up with pretty much their bully. And at the end, they bullied her. Moving on, Jelly Roll defeated Kit Wilson. This was kind of funny because they had a little backstage segment where again Danhausen cursed Kit Wilson, and in a result, Jelly Roll wins his first singles match, I believe, in WWE. And this is all the Jelly Roll SmackDown. We'll talk about that later because I know that it's probably in your grain of salt. Um, Segments. So at the beginning of the night, Randy got jumped by Matt Cardona, which set up the main event. Motor City Machine Guns and Fraxium talked to the back. I don't know what they're doing with the tag division. Kit Wilson, oh, I already talked about, was cursed by Danhausen. And this is where we lead to the most important parts of SmackDown. So, backstage segment, Trick and Sammy are pretty much going at it backstage. General manager comes out and says that Trick Williams is truly a star and that's why he deserves a spot at WrestleMania. So he gets a match at WrestleMania. Doesn't announce what kind of match. Sami Zayn says, "What about me?" And they said, "Honestly, bud, you're a bum. You're a loser. You don't get a spot at WrestleMania unless you find a way in the next 3 weeks to get one." And Sammy's like, "Bet." A little bit later, Carmelo Hayes does the United States Open Challenge, and this is one of the important segments. I want to hear your opinion on it. Sami Zayn is the one who goes out. Sami Zayn's the one who gave pretty much the championship away to Carmelo Hayes, creating this huge run that people love of the Open Challenge. Trick Williams interferes, um, which is also a running little gag. He interferes by punching the wrong opponent, which was Carmelo Hayes. Sami Zayn finally turns almost heel and takes advantage, wins the United States title, beats the young rookie pretty much, and everyone just calling him Sammy Hogan. At the end of the night, sorry, at the end of the match, Sammy's like, "See, now I have a spot to WrestleMania." And he's like, "All right, good, because the match that Trick Williams is supposed to be is against you, so United States Championship match." What do you think with what transpired there?
Um, so it's it's hard because on one hand,
He's hard.
on the positive,
Yep.
on the positive, like we've been seeing like this ongoing thing with Sammy and Trick Williams for a few weeks now. So the match makes sense. I think we all figured that we were going to see Sammy versus Trick at WrestleMania anyways.
Yep.
I think a lot of the running discourse is that the match didn't feel like it needed a championship to be to really have a story because we really saw a lot of stuff being materialized. And I really liked what Carmella Hayes was doing with the United States Championship, and there's a lot of negative feedback in regards to feeling that Carmella Hayes did a huge job at elevating the title.
Yeah.
That being said, I think those same people forget that one of the reasons why the title has felt more important was because of Sammy.
Yeah.
Because
He's the one who
after
started
he
it.
won the United States Championship, he was the one that was having banger after banger after banger with that title
Yeah.
until he lost the title to Carmelo Hayes. Or was it to Carmelo or was it to Ilya? It was to Ilya. And then Ilya dropped it to Carmella.
Ah, so that's
Um,
what happened. Yeah.
yeah. So, this like ongoing like importance and like relevance to the United States Championship was something that started before Carmelo. Carmelo just did his job to be able to uphold it, and he did a phenomenal job. Selfishly for me, I want Carmelo in that spot. That being said, Carmelo versus Trick is a big time rivalry that I feel, although it is a WrestleMania worthy main event, I don't want it something coming together in a couple of weeks. I want that something to be built over a good period with great stuff being brought into it until we get to that match. I do hope and believe that Carmelo will be inserted into the situation because I don't want him off the card. I think that he deserves to be on the card. Um, so it's kind of hard again because I don't like the fact that we had to take the title off of Carmelo Hayes to build a story between Sami Zayn and Trick. But on the other hand, Trick Williams is in the position of winning his first singles title on the main roster, and that I'm here for.
Yeah, and that's what the people are
So,
here for because like he's super over. Everyone knows it. Everyone sees it.
absolutely. Absolutely.
He's a
So I think
star.
from that regard, I'm not totally against the decision.
Hmm.
Because I think WWE is aware of how the fans are going to move towards it. Sammy still gets cheered. Like there may be a couple of boos here and there. There might be a couple people who are frustrated with the direction that he's at.
Yeah.
But like he still is a very popular superstar, and like the stuff that he's been doing with Trick has been great. So I think honestly, like regardless of what people may feel, this is a match that people are going to tune into for WrestleMania.
Mhm. And I feel like you summarized it perfectly. Just quickly in the chat, we want to shout out Triple H. Thank you. Appreciate you stopping by here. Kings getting you're getting your haircut. All right, let's
Oh
go.
wow!
Appreciate
Shout
you
out to
having us
Triple
up
H.
while getting a
I'll
haircut.
try to, I'll try to be involved in the chat, but I think learned that part of the reason why my choppiness in the last previous weeks on stream have been because I've had um my internet browser running in the background, which has been causing my laptop to do some funky stuff. So
Mhm.
I am going to be paying attention to the chat through external means. I'm using my
Of
phone.
course.
I'm using my
Of
phone
course.
to be in the chat. So
So
let me
as
put.
you were describing before, it was Matt who messaged me or talked to me, or maybe we were talking on the phone earlier of last week. He's like, "What?" I think it
Mhm.
was the day after SmackDown. He's like, "What are your thoughts on like what happened?" And I will tell you guys what I told him. Honestly, I'm not in that crowd where like everyone's mad about it. I'm okay with it. I feel like the United States title is a mid card title, and I kind of like that back and forth. That's what creates these rivalries. Is what creates stars and stuff. Sami Zayn getting the championship doesn't mean he's going to keep it. He most likely will drop it. And as you said, to Trick Williams would be a huge thing, like a passing of the torch, and it would drive Sammy to doubt himself more and hopefully turn heel and hopefully join Kevin Owens and then win the world title, which is what I'm hoping for by like SummerSlam. Um, but yeah, I think it wasn't the worst. I also think Carmelo Hayes will be added to the triple threat because Trick was the one who interfered. So I highly doubt it. And if not, I still feel like it's going to be Trick versus Carmelo Hayes at Backlash for the United States title. Regardless, we're going to get that match. So I just let them cook, honestly. Oh, Matt's here. He says this
Yeah,
just in: Kenny
he's
Omega
watching
has
AEW.
24. Oh no, he's talking about intestines. He's gone, bro.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
he's
saying that he
referring
lost.
to yeah, because of the diverticulitis. Diverticulitis is no joke.
Damn, that's sad.
Uh, yeah, which but he feels great. So, but damn, that's a lot of
That's a lot. Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot of intestine.
Okay.
Oh well.
Anyways,
Anyways,
moving moving forward, this is another huge thing. So it was the United States Women's Championship on the line. Oh, and before I quickly get to this point, going back to the former United States title match, did you guys actually think Carmelo Hayes was going to defend his championship at WrestleMania? Because I'm pretty sure he's either going to defend it on SmackDown or the pre-show because he was not going to be
That's
there.
the other thing. I don't, that's the
So
other thing too. I don't think they really factored him into plans for WrestleMania to begin with.
yeah,
So,
like
yeah. So I would have loved for him to be there again, but I don't think like what seeing this card come together. There wasn't a point where I was like, "Oh, Melo is gonna do this." Like I
mm.
honestly did not have a plan for him.
Which brings me back to this note. The United States Women's Championship was on the line. This match you would assume would be a WrestleMania, but it's not, and it probably won't be, as we kind of mentioned with the men's United States title match. It wasn't really needed because Julia took on Tiffany Stratton. I don't remember who interfered, but Tiffany did not win clean. Julia did end up winning the match, and she took the title with her. I think Chelsea Green maybe tried to interfere or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was Chelsea.
Was that the outside punch for like the third time in like 1 week?
Yes, that was what. Wait, was it their match? Yeah, I think it was their match as well. So it was
Yeah.
their match,
There's the
Melo's
tag team
match,
match the
and
week before
the tag
that.
team match.
Yeah. And then the one on
No,
Raw.
same show, same show,
Oh my god. And then Monday Night Raw, of
same
course,
show.
as
Yeah,
well. We'll talk about that later.
yeah.
So Rip Tiffany, Randy Orton defeats Matt Cardona in a very quick match, 6 minutes 27 seconds. It was pretty funny because he's gonna break his arm again. Cody Rhodes comes out to try to save him, and honestly, I mean, again, this is our opinions. It was kind of lame still. Like, okay,
It was lame.
I
It was
think I
lame.
also told Matt the same thing, and I may have told you when we all that went out for dinner on
Yeah,
Sunday,
great dinner.
where it was great. It was fantastic. We should go again. The food is great.
It's awesome.
Trying to get my train of thought because Matt's in the chat here talking about how they gave Ricochet stable. Yeah, no, yeah, no, AEW, cut it, bro. No, but we'll talk a little bit more about AEW after. Um, Yeah, where Randy Orton has been doing really well to carry these segments the last couple of weeks. He's created this villainous character that we all love, and you can kind of tell the difference of generations where the way his storytelling is like it could be in means of weaponry, of like psychological warfare, insults, you know? And then Cody comes in and it's just like the same old shtick. He comes in, he's like, "Oh, you're bad. Let me attack you," and then they fight, and then a billion people try to hold them off together. Like it just didn't feel special. Didn't feel important. I feel like they should have done similar to Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, where they fought backstage, and Randy had to like run away and drive away in a car because Cody was too much or something, you know. But it's just like just feels like ordinary stuff.
Yeah,
And what do you think? I don't know.
I agree.
Bland.
So what I see is very much the same thing that I saw when John Cena was at his prime. And this is one of the reasons why people got tired of his shtick because I understand that part of being in the positions you're in is that you have to maintain your character. Like thinking about like what would my character do in this situation. If you like reference back to WWE Unreal and they were doing the match between him and John at SummerSlam, and Cody had mentioned that there were so many times where he wanted to like let the crowd more or less dictate like what he's gonna do, and he was gonna kind of like maybe like execute a tournament match and kind of do it, and like Cena's just like no, just be you, be authentic, be the character that you are, and don't switch that up, kind of thing, because that is your bread and butter. I think in some cases that doesn't work because what you get from that is fatigue. You get people who are tired of seeing it. They
Yeah.
want to see something different. They want to see something fresh. They want to see something that will keep them drawn in. And I can reference the Punk and Roman Reigns stuff because I feel like everything that they've done up until this point has been very different, but also still stay true to who they are, which keeps them captivating. Cody Rhodes as a champion is very linear and it's very like cut and paste. And it's funny because when he doesn't have the title, he branches out and he does cool things.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
what was the first thing he did when he lost against Drew McIntyre? He had that backstage with Jacob Fatu, and he basically said that you're a convict and like I'm gonna beat your ass kind of thing. And I was just like,
Yeah.
bro, what the hell? We didn't expect that shit. Like that
Yeah.
was awesome. And then with Randy, and again, it's like, okay, this is 20 years in the making, however long, since 2009, you guys have built the story up. You know this guy in and out. And the first thing that you do after this guy betrayed you, kicked you in the nuts, busted you open, beat the shit out of you, and kept you off of TV for 2 weeks was just like, just go guns a blazing and just do the same old tired shit that you like. Now I'm expecting that the next week you're gonna come out, you're gonna say enough because that's what fucking Cody Rhodes does, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, it's like for me, like Randy has done so much to really change and really evolve his character because although like he's like leading back into like '09 Randy, which is what people are referring him to. And for me, this isn't '09 Randy. This is COVID Randy. So if you remember, COVID Randy was just as destructive, but like he also figured out the promo part of it too. So he was able to deliver cultivating promos and really be in the zone while doing those promos, but also do the work in the ring to be able to carry the character forward. And I feel like he's done well to kind of like make people feel like, oh yeah, like he's serious. And then like to me, like this is Cody Rhodes versus the Cody Rhodes that we got last year for WrestleMania against John Cena. Then what happened? He lost. This is the Cody Rhodes that we got against Kevin Owens, and he barely won because of bullshit. Right? This is the Cody Rhodes we got against Drew McIntyre. This is the Cody Rhodes that we got against like pretty much every person that he's lost the title to. Like nothing has changed. What can you do to make me feel that you even have a chance to beat this Randy? And once we get into Raw, we can kind of delve into that further. But like, it fell flat. Like, I didn't want to see another brawl. I didn't want to see another situation where a bunch of like enhancement talent that are pretending to be security come out and try to break these guys up.
yeah.
Like I don't need to see that with every single segment. Like I get it. Like sometimes it's cool when it's done in the right times. I think it works, but like give me something different. Like I want to be able to see that this guy, the guy that mentored you. You should be able to hit him in a ways that he can't anticipate. Him running like a little bitch didn't do anything for him
Yeah,
because Randy circa 2009 would have done that and it came back and fucking like kicked you with the nuts and punted you, right? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
And that's a
so
good
yeah,
point as well. Like there's been a lot of repetitive segments. This segment with the whole crowd and trying to separate, their kind of excuse right now is like, oh, you can't ruin the main event of WrestleMania. But we'll talk about that when it continue with Raw. There's one segment I did miss, and that is also, I guess, important. Drew and Jacob Fatu have done extremely well. They're screaming at each other. We were all expecting a huge match to be announced. It is going to be an unsanctioned match. If you guys don't know, that means just no rules. WWE is not held accountable. So it's going to be a lot of crazy stuff. I thought it was going to be Hell in a Cell or a Steel Cage, but
a
honestly,
lot of people thought that.
because Drew has been in a lot of Hell in a Cells as of late, I think it's a good pivot. And this is a good chance for them to fight in the crowd or destroy the stage or something. Like do something crazy. And knowing Jacob
Yeah.
Fatu, he's probably going to jump off a pillar of some sort.
So it's very funny because WWE is very famous for having a lot of match types that deliver the same thing, right? No holds barred, falls count anywhere, no DQ, right? Extreme rules. Like it's all the same shit.
Yeah, yeah,
For some reason, they figured out the unsanctioned part to make it a little bit more different. Now they dim the lights so they make it seem like, oh, we're not responsible for anything that happens here. So once the lights come back on, we're washing our hands off all this stuff. And somehow the intensity gets brought up just a little bit more. Maybe it's just because the people who have been involved are willing to do a lot more. The last
yeah,
unsanctioned match we got was between Kevin and Sammy, and those guys love beating each other up,
yeah,
right? And then prior to that, we got it in NXT, and those guys love beating each other up. They are willing, like I think we got it between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. They love killing each other,
yeah.
right? So I feel that Jacob Fatu is willing to do a lot, and Drew McIntyre has shown that, like, for the purpose and for the sake of what he used to do, he can kind of turn the intensity level up a bit to make it feel a little bit more. Like the last like major match that we had was him versus Punk at Hell in a Cell, and honestly, one of the better Hell in a Cell matches that I have seen in the past like decade for sure.
Mhm.
I think that although WWE seems to have an identity crisis when it comes to their their no DQ matches, I think this one does have the potential to be a little bit different and
Yeah.
not have the typical garbage can, candlestick, steel chair, table spot. Like I think they are willing to go and do things that are a little bit more unconventional than what we're used to seeing.
Mhm. So that is Friday Night SmackDown. Now we'll move on to Monday Night Raw, live from the Mecca. They're live from Madison Square Garden, New York City, where they usually pull out all the stops. There was a lot of rumors going around that people were being hidden and snuck into the arena. There was a bunch of surprises and a continuation of title changes. So again, quickly going through the summary, but this is kind of important. Surprise! Cody Rhodes music hits. They also had like a special entrance or whatever. Cody Rhodes comes out, everyone's shocked because they say Friday Night SmackDown, bro. This is Monday Night Raw. He does the usual shtick. He's like, "What do you guys want to talk about?" And then to another huge surprise, Stephanie McMahon, out of all people, comes out and she starts, chatting up Cody Rhodes, telling him that like you gotta be prepared because I've seen this Randy Orton up close before, and he can be very dangerous. Someone insert the pictures if you know what I'm getting at with his little rivalry with Triple H, of course, where things got a little rated R. Um, yeah, so she said be careful. And then Cody Rhodes finally showing some character was like me, not knowing him. Like I'm the one that like he was like drugged and drunk out of his mind. He's almost passed out. I had to make sure that he was freaking breathing while we were driving on the road, kind of thing. He's like a brother to him, kind of thing. He was like raised and trained by him. He's the one that got his dad punted or whatever. Um, Stephanie kind of like talks back and says like this Cody Rhodes right now, the way you are right now, wouldn't be Randy Orton. Randy Orton's not only listening to the voices, he's also listening to someone else, which is a big hint of who is this person, who is Randy listening to. And then she says that you're not your father, and Cody Rhodes says that this Cody Rhodes will be ready for Randy Orton, and that you are not your father either. Which again, sorry, I forgot Stephanie McMahon mentioned that this is the company that her grandfather built. I think she was talking about her dad instead because he's the one who truly built this company, but I digress. Anyways, slaps Cody Rhodes. I forgot what Cody Rhodes said at the end, but he left.
He said thank you. Yeah, I got 2 words for you. Thank you.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
interesting. Do you want to speak on that?
yeah. I did like how that ended.
Okay.
I thought that was very lame. I thought that was very campy. I thought that was stupid. But I think that promo was able to voice what we as a fan base have been feeling. Whereas, like, we can't see the same version of Cody going into this match because that doesn't excite us. We have to see him take it up a notch. And very much like what Stephanie mentioned, he has to think like Randy. He has to be a step ahead of Randy. He needs to do more than just kind of like going guns a blazing. Like, he has to go to different levels to be able to meet Randy where he's at this point, because that is a story that Randy is telling and Cody's not telling that story. So in a way, Stephanie told him like you need to change your story up to make this story into something bigger because that's what this needs. So it'll be very pivotal to see how they work with that going forward. Now with WrestleMania being 2 weeks, 2 weeks, it's 2 weeks away.
It's 2 weeks away now. It's technically next week now, so it's a week and a half. So,
Well, no, they did 2 weeks because like this weekend's the
oh,
4th,
you're
and then there's 11th.
right. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
so
still two
two
weeks
weeks.
away. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, right. Okay, perfect. Yeah, good. Because I have LASIK next week, so I can see it. Let's
Yes,
go.
yes, yes.
Okay. Moving forward. Now we'll do the summaries very quickly. Another surprise. Well, not surprise. I guess it was. World Tag Team Championships are on the line. The Usos come out to a brand new theme song. It was absolutely butt cheeks. It was horrific. They tried to yeet to it, and it just did not work out. Yeah, they lost to Logan Paul and Austin Theory because there was another backstage segment at the beginning where Speed was there and he was begging for Danhausen to reverse the curse. He said no, and yeah, he inadvertently helped the Vision win the tag team championships, or the Usos are gonna kill him. They have a backstage segment with Paul Heyman. He says, "You're covered. You're protected by the Vision. Everyone go have themselves a night. He's got better things to do today." And then he's like, "Yeah, Speed's gonna die." um, yeah, that's a whole little topic that we'll talk about later. WWE Women's Tag Team Title match. The Irresistible Forces take on Bailey and Lara. They end up winning by DQ because again, all the girls are interfering. Um, except for the Bellas because I'm pretty sure they were still injured. But we'll talk about again more of that after. WWE Intercontinental Championship match was on the line. Penta defeats Kofi Kingston. Very, very, very good match, actually. Kofi Kingston was pulling off all the stops. He was more of a face than a heel, and he kept telling Grayson Waller to stop interfering. Grayson Waller kind of gets in the way and costs him the match, but that will lead to a rivalry moving forward. Raquel Rodriguez defeats Io Sky because Io Sky has been getting in their business, you know? Judgment Day's business. Speaking about Judgment Day, we'll go into the segments here. Liv talks her ish and speaks a lot of Spanish towards Stephanie Vakir. Stephanie comes out. Comes out. That's all I gotta say about that segment. They're all out there, both of them, respectfully, of course. They're fighting each other. And Roxanne Perez returns, and that was something that was rumored, but it was another surprise. And they team up against Stephanie, and they said that pretty much you're like saying I can't do stuff with my family, but brings her family out anyways, and says that because she does have family and Stephanie does not have family around here because she's South American, of course, is the reason why she's kind of like gonna win the match. I think that's the topic. What she tried to say at the end, besides calling her a puta.
Tu
Um,
madre é basura,
yeah,
puta. That's what
yeah.
she said.
No,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Your mother's
yes.
trash. Anyway, um, yeah, I think that's pretty good. It kind of like boosts the rivalry up a little bit. Vision with speed, Paul Heyman. Okay, so a couple things with Paul Heyman. He does go out with Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar comes out full gear. Looks like he was gonna wrestle. Of course, once again, the security guards come out. They challenge Oba. Oba comes out. He knocks away the referee. He knocks away the general manager. They all try to start brawling. They all start fighting, even throwing the general manager around. It got to the point where Triple H had to come out, which is kind of another huge surprise, and tell them to step away because they do not want to endanger the main event of WrestleMania, like another event at WrestleMania. I was gonna say your opinion on that here, but we'll continue because it does continue. Um, Seth Rollins is cleared to medically compete because Paul Heyman has another segment, and when he was about to jump Paul Heyman, he gets attacked by Gunther, and Gunther kind of takes him out. Where once again, everyone backstage have to separate everyone, which leads to one more segment at the end. Roman takes on Punk, where you guessed it, they fought. The security and the general manager had to come out to try to stop it, but this time CM Punk slams Roman to the table and he says he's ready for WrestleMania. Derek, what do you think? Raw in general and these segments that we just said, these surprises.
Um, so I'm not gonna lie, I liked how Raw ended with that because I feel that at the I'm over the security coming through and separating and whatever. But I like that like Punk kind of got his lick back and was able to put Roman through a table after Roman put him through a table the last week, so it's kind of like that one-upsmanship. So I am plus with since they've been doing things a little bit differently, I'm okay with that. Um, the other segments where there was like I think one of the things that a lot of people kind of mentioned, and I saw a little bit back and forth in terms of justification, was with the um Oba and Brock segment. And there were people that were like, "Oh, typical Triple H out here, like putting himself in a situation that he's got nothing to do with." And there were some that were defending it, saying, "Well, like the general manager got laid out by Femi, so Triple H had to like come out because like they know that they can't put his hands on him because he's like he can't be touched because he's got like a medical condition and whatnot. He's
Yeah.
got a pacemaker and whatever." And for me, like what I interpreted it as is that like Triple H is being viewed, and I think the way that 2KO wants to view Triple H, he's like the Dana White of WWE. He's like the fight promoter. He's the guy that, yeah, he puts the matches together, but he's also like the kind of like the spokesperson for these matches, right? Which is why he does the post pay per view interviews and all that stuff. Like he's kind of like the Dana White presser kind of thing, right? And one of the things that typically gets people hyped up for UFC matches is whenever they do a press conference and the two guys kind of go at it, and Dana White kind of gets in the middle, and it's just like, oh, well, you gotta get Dana White involved. Like that's gonna be a huge thing there. Um, my gripe slightly was that if Triple H was able to do that for Brock and Oba, like why did you not do that for Punk and Roman, which seemingly seems to be a bigger main event match than Oba and Brock. And if we're going to use the argument, well, the general manager got taken out, so Triple H had to go out there. Well, CM Punk took out like Adam Pierce there too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the same situation, but like Triple H is nowhere to be found. So I don't know. Um,
You just reminded
I
me, sorry,
feel
something about the brawl on SmackDown. I forgot that Jelly Roll went out and Randy RKO'd him, which ended the night.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah,
But
yeah,
we'll continue about that later.
damn,
Sorry. Yeah, every segment it
yeah.
feels like this little brawl thing's happening.
Yeah, and it's like okay, like I like the onset. Like honestly, the stuff with like Liv and Stephanie, I love because that felt like that was like brewing. Like they were saying so much into each other that at some point you knew that they were just
They
gonna
were gonna
like
like
beat the shit out of
explode.
each other,
Yeah.
right? And even still, like their brawls have been dope. Like when they did the whole thing last week when like Liv like threw her into like the stage like hard,
Yeah.
and then like Stephanie came back and like spy buster her on the floor. Like I was like, damn, like this feels heated. Whereas everything else kind of felt like it was a little bit overproduced to an extent. But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like you could do a little bit more than kind of like booking a oh the security has to come out and blah 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 blah. Like just like the way that they were going at each other, it wasn't even like it was like at a point where it seemed like they needed to be separated. Like they were gonna get the stuff in regardless, right? So like you could have just probably had done that without having the security out there. But
Mhm. But yes, that is
whatever.
Monday Night Raw. Um, a bunch of matches got randomly announced and literally randomly announced. Some matches got put together because of main event or something like that. There's like qualifiers. Anyways, I have it open
Oh
here.
yeah.
So if you guys want to take a look quickly. After Penta's match, he did announce something big. So we already know Roman takes on Punk. It's the big main event match of WrestleMania. Sorry, let me zoom it even more. Randy versus Cody, which has been set up before. Liv versus Stephanie. I feel like this is all basic. Ripley and Cargill. Okay, huge announcement happened this weekend. Jonathan Cena says that he's filming in Hollywood nearby. Vegas is nearby. They're all along on the road, so he's going to the road to WrestleMania. You can try to retire all you want. You can go far, far away. They can push you far, far away, but you always come back, brother. You'll never truly retire from WWE. They're pulling all the stops. They're making John Cena the host of WrestleMania 42. I thought respectfully John Cena's gonna be gone for another year until next year, maybe to a Hall of Fame. He said when he was gonna retire that he wasn't gonna wear like the bracelets, the hat, and everything anymore. He was just gonna wear suits. I highly doubt that. Let's see how this goes at WrestleMania. They gotta sell that gear, but I'm excited. I feel like it's the perfect role. He's not wrestling, but we have Cena. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. Like, what does the host of WrestleMania really entail nowadays? Like, I feel like what you're involved in a couple of backstage segments. You speak on the mic and say a bunch of stuff, and then it's mostly the wrestling part of things. But Cena's gonna be there, so that is definitely gonna generate some buzz because people are going to assume like, oh, he's gonna do something. But you know, just the fact that he's there, and we'll see him on screen in some capacity is still pretty cool. So I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
It'll be worth my $7.99 on Netflix.
Oh, of course. OFME takes on Brock Lesnar, which we know. I don't think they even promote this week at all. AJ Lee or Becky Lynch, I don't even think they were there.
No, they were there.
Jacob Fatu and Drew, as we discussed before, unsection match, so should be good. Sammy and Trick Williams, they have the official card, so maybe Carmella Hayes will not be added to it. Who knows? Individual tickets. Where's everything else? There we go. So this was announced on Monday Night Raw randomly. Intercontinental Championship ladder match, which again we've been saying it the last few weeks. We need ourselves a ladder match. I thought it was gonna be a United States title. That obviously got changed very quickly. These qualifiers happened apparently on main event already for some reason. And JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, and Rusev are going to be the ones headed to WrestleMania in a ladder match against Penta. I personally think that this is going to be good because Penta's kind of doing the open challenge. So now he's like, open challenge to anyone who wants to fight me on a ladder. Come and reach the title. Come get it. And I think they chose the correct people. Dragon Lee's a high flyer. Javon Evans also a high flyer. JD McDonough could be that kind of hybrid wrestler. Rusev is always that kind of like one heavyweight that they put in the match. And then Penta, obviously a high flyer himself. I think this match is going to be a dark horse, like a sleeper match. I think a lot of people are going to see, especially I feel like every wrestler that are in this match are underrated, and some of them are not showcased to their abilities. I'm looking more so at Dragon Lee and JD McDonough. I think this is going to elevate a lot of these guys' careers. So, yeah, I think it's a great match. What do you think?
No, I think it's going to be a show stealer, to be honest with you. I personally like the fact that WWE had to like kind of go out of the way to be like, oh yeah, by the way, this happened on main event, so that's why these guys are put together like post show.
Yeah,
I feel like you could have probably taken maybe like a couple minutes to be like, even Penta to say like, hey, you guys fought for the spot, so come and get it, kind of thing, to kind of at least give us, because like in terms of like us watching Monday Night Raw, like Javon Evans makes sense because like they have been teasing like he's gonna be involved in WrestleMania in some capacity, but everybody else, like the last time I saw Dragon Lee on Raw, he was getting choked up by Gunther. The last time I saw Rusev on Raw, he got beat by Oba Family pretty convincingly. And last time I saw JD on Raw, he got stomped by Finn Balor, right? So I would have appreciated if they did a little to kind of inform me on the show, even if it's like a 1 or 2 second thing, and if they did do these qualifiers on an earlier main event, then you could have been like, watch main event or something. Like
yes,
to
yes,
me, this whole
yeah,
thing was like thrown together. Like if this was your plan, like you could have told me like last week, like, hey, watch main event because we're gonna do these qualifier matches that have major WrestleMania implications to then lead into this kind of thing.
yeah.
But either way, whatever. This match is still gonna be a dope match. So
I think that's the major gripe that
you know,
everyone said online. They're like, at least promote it. Then people would have actually watched main event for once because it would have implications to something. And obviously, they still have two
huge.
more weeks, so like they could have just built something for Raw and SmackDown. But here we
Yeah.
are. Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio are fighting each other. That's another match that got announced on Monday, which we were all looking
Mhm.
forward to regardless. And now also announced, as we discussed, it's a fatal four way between the tag teams. Looks like the Bellas are good to go. Again, 2 weeks away, so they should be fine. And that's it. That's the card for WrestleMania so far. And I think it's gonna be a good one. I feel like all these multi-person matches, or even like the rivalries we have here, because we're doing Predictamania and all that, like it's pretty good because I feel like it's anyone's game, and usually WrestleMania is like that. So let's see how that goes. Very exciting stuff. Put this back together. All right, Mr. Derek, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to go for first? Do you want to get stuff off your chest with the salt? Do you have stuff in the sheets? I know some things happened in AEW as well.
Let's we could go into myself first. I have some things I want to talk about.
Alrighty. And here we are. Derek's grain of salt. Where his opinions, of course, are
Um
only his opinions, not mine.
yes. Okay, so first thing I'll talk about is the I guess like the pivot to Seth versus Gunther. Um overall, I don't think
Oh, you froze.
oh
Like your voice
I
is
froze,
fine.
hold on.
It made
No,
a weird noise and then your face froze.
yeah, it's because I with my camera it does that. Alright, cool. Anyway,
There we go.
sorry. Um I think that the Gunther versus Seth Rollins stuff, like I get. I think we all understand why we are here.
Yeah.
Because Seth Rollins got cleared, Braun Breaker isn't.
Mm.
Gunther needed something to do to really build off of what he's been doing, and Rey Mysterio isn't cleared.
Yeah.
So understanding how this match came together makes sense. I think that WWE should and probably will do their due diligence to kind of justify why this match has come together. We'll probably get like Paul Heyman saying that he made a deal with Gunther to kind of like take him out because of whatever, whatever, and Gunther wanted to like pad more to his resume, something along those lines. So that's probably what we're getting at. Um, I don't. I think my thing is that I think WWE knew relatively early enough to know that Rey Mysterio wasn't going to be there, and maybe they were holding off to see if Braun Breaker would be cleared in time before they confirmed, like, all right, we're going in this direction.
Yeah.
I feel that what I would have wanted to see, and again, whatever, I'm a fan. But I feel like if they actually told us on TV that, because I still feel like Rey Mysterio and Gunther is still on the table. So for me, why not tease it, but also let people know that it's not gonna happen at Mania?
Yeah.
Like, build off of the fact that he took out Dragon Lee. Rey Mysterio comes out and says, "You know what? You took out my boy, and like I wish I could do something about it right now, but I'm not." And just have like Gunther be basically saying like, "Yo, the reason why I don't have a match right now is because you're too chicken shit or you're too fucking hurt for me to actually go after you."
Yeah.
But I took out your boy just so that you kind of like lead into that. Just because like for me, like Gunther not being around the last few weeks, I feel like kind of hurt his momentum and kind of hurt his outlook going into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So they at least had those guys on television to kind of build this like, this is a match that is going to happen at some point, but not right now. And then Seth Rollins coming back and being like, or like Gunther being like, well, I need to find somebody that I'm going to like kill at WrestleMania, and then like leading into this point, then I think it would have been a little bit cooler and it would have kind of brought things together a little bit more. Um, but again, I'm just going to assume that it's probably because they didn't know what was going to happen until we got there.
Mhm.
And now we're here, and again, this match is still going to be dope. So I'm happy with it, and that is what it is. But I just feel like they could have did a little bit more to kind of sort of like build a story out of a story, right? Like,
Yeah.
give me the reason why Gunther wasn't booked up until now, right? As opposed to just being like, well, we're just not gonna mention him and like book him at all until we know what's going on, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I think that would have been a little bit better. But either way, that is what it is. My second thing is I'm really trying to figure out who Randy is talking to. And I
Okay.
think that the overall notion and what people are thinking is that it's
It's Vince
somebody
McMahon.
who is motivating him to be the Viper. But then I started to really think about it, and I started to think about like how the interactions of the fun have been going, and how a case it may be. And I kind of feel like, what
The
if
Rock.
we kind of pivoted in a different direction? And what if it wasn't somebody that was purposely trying to motivate him, but what if it's somebody that he went after that is legitimately scared of him, and is motivating him in the sense that he is manipulating them into submission? So
Okay.
here's my take.
Okay.
And what if the person that he's talking to is Cody's mom?
Ho
And
ho
not talking to
ho.
her in the sense where Cody's mom is
Mama
saying, like, I need you to kill my
Rose.
son, but maybe he's manipulating her and fucking scaring the shit out of her and just like being like, because like there's a point where she was like, he's like, "Oh, thank you for reminding me that I'm a killer." And maybe she didn't say that necessarily because she was trying to motivate him, but maybe because like she fucking intimidated her to the point where she was saying all these things that it's just kind of like, "Yeah, you know what? Like I am a killer. Like thank you for saying that," kind of thing, right?
Okay.
And then you go to SmackDown and he's just like, "You know what? I want to go out there and make things right." And maybe that was her pleading with him to like please like stop doing this, like just like make things right with like like with Cody and with Matt Cardona and just have a great match. What if like he's already one step ahead of Cody in the sense that he went to someone that's close to him and is like going after her and like basically being her into submission, which one makes him into like this dastardly heel character, but also is like the final switch, kind of like the Android 16 to Gohan, that like flips the switch off of Cody's head and is just like, "You son of a bitch! Like you're taking things way too far," and that's what flips him off and turns him into like the guy that he needs to be to go after Randy.
Mm.
So, and this is the thing, like I'm thinking about like, okay, like who could he be talking to make sense? And I feel like a lot of people are going off of like, oh, this would make sense from a storyline perspective. This could lead towards something. But I feel like lately WWE's stance has been like this tertiary thing isn't going to lead into anything. It's just here to be able to make the story into something a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And so like you could go to a Vince McMahon, but I don't think they're going that route. Although that'd be really cool. You could go to a Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens is injured, and it's like, all right, cool. Like Kevin Owens could still have this beef, and maybe he is like pushing shit into his ear. But like, why would he choose now to decide? Like, yeah, you know what, whatever kind of thing. Unless he's just like, I still hate Cody, so like, I'm just gonna manipulate Randy, whatever. Some people thought it could have been John, but like, babyface John
Imagine.
Cena wouldn't like manipulate like thing to be at that point. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like maybe it might be a sort of in a sense. It's like it's not necessarily somebody that is talking to him that's making him or motivating him to be a heel, but it's more so he just went after somebody to add another layer to get at Cody.
Mhm. Hmm. Very interesting. Very, very
Yeah,
interesting. I like the take because I don't know. I felt like I kind of knew who was gonna be. They were talking about Stephanie McMahon, like teased that it was like almost like an ally to him, but I don't know anymore. I thought it was his dad. I thought it was Ric Flair. Could still be The Rock. I have no idea, man.
yeah,
But I'm intrigued. I'm hoping that they take it one step further. I don't know. I hope they do a lot of crazy stuff the next couple of weeks. They should really ramp that story up, line up. I want the hatred between both of them, and then get it going at WrestleMania, kind of like the way Roman and Punk are doing. Any more salt? Any more grains in there?
Mm. That's those are my two major grants for now.
Okay. What about repetitive segments?
It pisses me off.
Just your general. Okay. So sheets.
Yeah, let's do the sheets.
Alrighty.
Let's get lost in the sheets.
Welcome to Matt's Dirt Sheets minus Matt. Derek will be taking over. Tell us, Derek, what we got going on.
Right. So I guess like the major sheet that Matt kind of talked about in the chat is it seems as though Chris Jericho has finally made his wrestling return, and he
Yep,
has returned to AEW.
he has,
Uh,
which is I don't want to say shocking, but like there's always rumors of him leaving and going somewhere else, but that's crazy.
yeah.
He's
So
back.
he's back in AEW. Good for him.
Yep.
What else do we have in the sheets?
I have
Matt
one
Hardy
as well.
was going on about how he feels like the Hardys should face the tag team champions at WrestleMania, but that's probably not going to happen.
That would have been cool,
Um,
but they're
it would
old.
have been really cool. Oh yeah, I guess in regards to like the I Show Speed segment, like more than likely it's probably going to lead into a potential match
Oh,
between
I heard about
with
that.
him and the Vision versus the Usos and LA Knight.
Yeah, makes sense. Get them all on the card. Get speed in there. I think it'd be
Um,
kind of funny.
yeah, I think it'll be really funny.
I don't think all matches
So
should be serious. Some matches should be like those spectacles that you have with celebrities and such. So
yeah, I think that's all I really have for sheets though. What else? What do you got?
oh, the other thing was Braun Breaker. He was supposedly actually was cleared. I think that's what I've been seeing all day today. I don't know if
Ah,
it's just the
yes.
sheets trying to cover their asses, but yeah, he apparently is cleared, but they didn't want to rush him just in case. So then they pivoted with Gunther and Seth because it would have been the safest match. Gunther's not really doing anything right now, and as you said, Ray was injured. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know if there is any other thing on the sheets. I'm looking for my phone to see if I can find any. Let's see if we said anything this week. This is chat. Oh, I did send something to you, and it's not necessarily the sheets, but Brock Lesnar was talking about his family and how he's grateful for his parents because they always pushed him to be the person he was now. He said that he was always at the farm. His dad really, really needed his help, but he wanted to do, wrestling and sports and such. So the mom didn't want that to happen, but they did it anyways, and they said that you better win. They're kind of like a very competitive family. He says he remembers one time he lost and he didn't get a spot on the wrestling team, so he like smashed the hell out of the barn. And the dad is like, "Why don't you just quit then? Like if that's what you don't want to do." And he says, "No, I want to do this. I'm not gonna quit." And his mom was also very upset too. He's like, "You want to quit?" And he said no. So he kept pushing to do more and more, and they would kind of like were also eventually getting to him So, like, let's say he lost a wrestling match, then they would go home very angry, even 3 hours away, and they said, "Go find your own way home." And they left a kid in the middle of like an arena to go find a way back home. That's 3 hours away. So he said little things like that kind of helped him to be more competitive and kind of be a winner. So very grateful for them. He was also very well spoken. People were very surprised. I think that was the most I've ever seen him speak in his life. He also did mention that he's upset that he was the one that ended the streak. Because a lot of people were upset towards him about it, and he says that
Yeah.
he's not the booker kind of thing. He says he
Yeah.
wishes he's not the one who did it, but that's what happened anyways. Oh no, is Chris Jericho actually back in AEW? Yeah, he came back today. Came back today. It's so crazy. We thought he was breaking the walls down. There he is. What happened to the box? What box? Oh, like the wasn't that Danhausen the whole time?
Stanhausen.
Chris Jericho could have been there. Danhausen clears. Another thing, it's something you said actually this week. Unresolved mysteries. The Rock. What did The Rock mean at Bad Blood 2024? Nothing, bro, because he's busy filming Moana 5. Who attacked Jacob Fatu? I think we kind of already knew the answer with Drew, but they never really fully mentioned. Adam Pierce. Who is Adam Pierce taking orders from? That they never really mentioned. That just like they silenced him down. I hope they eventually close that off too. Who attacked Jey Uso? We were assuming it was the Vision, but that was also never cleared.
Yep.
And the biggest mission is Randy Orton. Who is he talking to? Which always a mystery.
Yeah, which again, like this could be one of those situations where they just never really give like any closure to that because they seem to be really good at doing that. But who knows? Maybe they will.
They will. Found a couple other funny ones. One of them was when Cody Rhodes was walking backstage or was pacing towards the ring, angrily towards Randy Orton. Someone comes out of the washroom in the background and just people are like, what does that mean?
Like, why was that even a thing? Like, why did they even do that? Like,
that's hilarious. I feel like they're just like telling the staff backstage, it's like, yeah, do whatever, just walk in the background. That guy just decided to pull something funny, but it was jokes. People are like, is it a sign? Is it like the segment stinky? Is Cody Rhodes stinky? But we digress. Next thing, Roman Reigns was at the Tonight Show with Jimmy, or is it Fallon tonight? So he was with Jimmy Fallon. They were talking about like his career, about WrestleMania and such, and it came up with they were trying to talk about the Zebras or whatever, right? So he's like, yeah, like he filmed it. He filmed it separately than CM Punk. He said, thank God. He's obviously the muscular zebra that you could see there, not the skinny one. And then he does mention that, well, he makes fun of CM Punk pretty much, saying, like, oh, CM Punk, I know you're probably a little confused, especially at your old age, why I'm here and you're there at home. And it's because I'm a much bigger star than you. And the people are just dying of laughter. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy what Roman's pulling out. Like, he's a star. He's a superstar. He's always been that star. Even week to week, like the gear he comes in, over expensive clothing. He just like screams star, and I'm glad that this main event's happening. I feel like CM Punk is also kind of a big name, but obviously ring wise, I don't think he would carry it compared to like a Cody Rhodes or a John Cena. So like, there's that factor, but we shall see. Anything else in the sheets? That's all I have here.
Oh wait, oh yeah, I think that's all for me. I think that's all I got.
Okay, very quick. Surprisingly, a whole lot quicker than I expected it to be, but
yeah, we can delve into more cooler things next week. But
it's Holy Week, ladies and gentlemen.
We're
busy. Tomorrow's the last day of work, and let's say we're relaxing. It's God's week.
We're holding in.
Of course. Till then, couple of things. If we're gonna stray away from wrestling, if everyone is kind of okay with that, I'm just gonna put on the weekly recap thing because that's how I have the setup. Ironically, it is the weekly recap, but it's not going to be for wrestling. It's going to be for football. The FIFA World Cup comes here, of course, to Toronto. Oh my God, wrestlers who destroyed their own careers. Look, it's freaking. Forgot even his name. Matt Riddle. He has pink hair. Yes. So WWE. The FIFA World Cup is coming to North America, so Mexico, Canada, United States. One of them's going to be here, Toronto. Today, the last minute tickets were being released. We were talking about that pretty much all day, and the last teams to qualify to the World Cup happened. So let's go. Cup qualified teams. This one says it's updated here. Is this in order? Yes. Anyways, Italy lost. Bosnia qualified instead. It's crazy. It really, really, really is crazy. Turkey also qualified. These are all the teams because again they extended the World Cup from I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was 32 before. They have a bracket and everything. There's A to L in groups. We can go through all of them if you guys like. Let's take a look here. Close gonna go into the picture. We got in Group A, Mexico, South Africa, and Korea Republic. Those are the teams that qualified already. Czechia was one of those teams that qualified yesterday. So good on Czechia. You're in. Canada, Qatar, and Switzerland have already been qualified. Bosnia, and I can never pronounce the last part. I'm so sorry. So I'm going to say Bosnia. They beat Italy yesterday in penalties to qualify. Should be an exciting group. Group C is Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland, which should be entertaining for the most part. I feel like sometimes that's going to be anyone's group. USA, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey, which qualified last minute as well. Our friend is going to Vancouver where they're having the games. We have Germany, Curacao, which I think is the most recent qualifying team. I think it's the smallest nation to qualify. Ivory Coast and Ecuador. So it should be fun. Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. Sweden, again, last minute team. Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Spain, Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Interesting. France, Senegal, Iraq is a new team that qualified. Norway, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. And Derek, I think these last two groups are the groups, bro. They're the key groups. They're the ones that have our countries, of course. So Portugal, Congo qualified. They eliminated Jamaica, which was surprising. Uzbekistan and Colombia, of course, where we're from. Should be entertaining, even though the friendlies were not so fun for Colombia. And the end looks like the group of death: England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama, which the games will be here in Toronto. So we were talking about tickets and events going on downtown Toronto. Do you fancy your chances?
So can make it out the group stage?
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
I think like England hasn't really been too hot lately, so Panama we'll see. But yeah, I think we can at least make it out the group stage. What happens afterwards is, is up to God, but I think we can make it out the group stage.
What do you think about Croatia?
I think we're gonna kill Croatia. I'm gonna be laughing at Compare every step of the way when we do.
Of course. That's what we like to see. Okay. That's all I got. That was my last minute weekly recap. Sorry, wrong one. I think that was all things wrestling. That's all we got on the recap. Appreciate everyone stopping by. I'm still a little sleepy. Hopefully we get back into things. See what we will do. We gotta get into WWE, man. We gotta get into 2K. Play some games
Yeah, we
one
have
of these days.
I haven't even touched 2K in weeks. I actually
I know.
just beat Hogwarts a couple days ago.
Oh, let's go. That's pretty
Finally beat Hogwarts. Finally got Avada Kedavra, which was like the only reason why I was trying to play that game in the first place.
cool. Yeah.
And brother, the way I was Avada Kedavraing everybody, my lord.
That's
Um,
great. We like to
Yeah,
see. I
but
know. I've only started it. I didn't continue it. I've been so into FIFA right now,
yeah,
but
fair.
hopefully we'll get into it, and hopefully
Yeah,
I'll finish editing that video of the story mode. I'll quickly post it on YouTube. Till then, appreciate everyone stopping by. It's been your boy Eric from EMFC,
this is Derek of EDFC.
and we'll see you guys next week. I hope everyone has a great long weekend, great Easter weekend,